Hey, how you guys doing out here? James Suffer with another episode of Real Talk with Real Men. I got Griff with me, and today we are talking about trauma and therapy.
Yeah.
Trauma and therapy. Getting your shit together.
How do you know when you need therapy? Or does everybody need therapy?
Honestly, I honestly believe...
Because we all go through shit.
I honestly believe everybody should seek some sort of professional help at one point in their life. You know what I mean? I think there's some, aspect, some sort of something going on to where, it's okay to seek some sort of professional help. And I think what people do is they either see it as weakness or maybe the cost is too much or something like that, to where, it's like, oh, it's really not that a problem. I can drink every day if I want to, kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Self-medicate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even if you don't seek it on a regular basis, like you just said, everybody's going through something. You know what I mean? Especially in this day and age, something is going on with somebody to where you just need to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I honestly believe that everybody should seek some sort of therapy at some point in time in their life.
Yeah.
When it comes to trauma, though, all the therapy in the world is not going to help your trauma unless you actually sit down and deal with it, is what I think. You know what I mean? So, like I said, everybody's gone through some shit. I've gone through some shit. But I've actually had to sit down and reflect on some, serious shit that has happened. And then actually analyze and try to understand it compared to just being angry about it. You know what I mean? If you're just angry about it, all you're doing is just increasing the trauma. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was listening to this show or podcast the other day, and it said something pretty profound to me that I thought was good. And that all trauma is stressful. However, all stress is not traumatizing.
Right.
And I think, especially in this Gen Z kind of world where, people go through a lot of shit, obviously, and I'm not knocking on those people, but it's like everything that you go through is not fucking traumatizing. It's like, you saying work made you traumatized for firing you because you're late. It's like, motherfucker, you were late every single day of this week.
Yeah.
How the fuck is that traumatizing to you because you got fired?
Brought that on yourself.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So it's like, not everything that you go through is traumatizing, even though, like I said, there are some traumatizing shit. Some shit happens. And I think that it's something that you reflect on a regular basis. It's something that you need to talk about. You know what I mean? Because there are some traumas where it's like, you talk about it, and it's over and done with, and it's no longer traumatic for you. You know what I mean? But if it's something that is constantly bothering you, keeping you up at night, then you most definitely need to seek some sort of professional help to deal with it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
At least that's my take on trauma and therapy. I'm not saying everybody has to go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday kind of shit, but if you're seriously going through something, then it's not shameful to go seek some professional help for it.
Yeah. I think as men, sometimes it's hard to put your ego aside to want to talk to someone, a professional especially, because of our, you're like, I can deal with it, I'm tough. But to speak on what you're saying about there's different levels of stress, like not all stress is traumatic.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important as men, especially, that we do go through some stress. Like adversity makes you stronger.
Yeah.
Like I saw a philosophy a long time ago that stuck with me, that adversity to the mind is like labor to the body. So, just like, it's like, exercise, like you go through these difficult things and it makes you get more wisdom, more experience, more knowledge. If you don't experience any adversity, you kind of just float through life, you don't grow. You need that stimulation of dealing with adversity to make you tougher. It's the same way as like if you lift weights or exercise, you building your body, you need to build your mind through adversity. Like a lot of people don't see that. They think of stress, all stress is bad. Like even there's physical stress. You literally, when you exercise, you're putting physical resistance on your body. That's a form of stress. Anything you do that they say like things that require a lot of focus is stress on the brain, but you need that to, sometimes to give you more wisdom, more experience. So I don't think you should. Some people just shut down all stress. I don't want any stress. A stress-free life. Like, no, you kind of got to go through some shit to make you a tougher person. And then you can use those experiences to share with other people. Do as I say, not as I do type shit. You know, or teach your kids like 30 plus years of knowledge and wisdom into a child. Like, this is all things I've been through. And, you know, same with our fathers did and their fathers did, or parents, whatever, you know? So, I don't know. But as far as therapy goes, I mean, that could be tough. I went to a therapist once. It was more for relationship shit, and I didn't really like it. So it kind of messed up my experience with it because I just felt like the dude was just sitting there and just taking notes and just, you know, regurgitating textbook shit. So I'm like, I'm just venting to you. I could do this to anybody. Like, what am I here for? So that's my experience. I'm not saying therapy is good or bad. I'm just saying from my experience, I didn't like it because I didn't get anything out of it. I'm just venting, which not necessarily is a bad thing. We all need to vent. You don't need to keep things bottled up. But do I need to go to a professional to do that, to regurgitate shit out of a textbook, or can I do that with my homie or my woman? Like, you know what I mean?
That was actually my next thing was when it comes to therapy is finding the right therapist that helps you. You know, so like I said, just like you were explaining, there are certain people that like to analyze you, but they're not really actually instructing or helping you with your situation. They're more or less just letting you vent, and then they get a check. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Me personally, I've been to two different therapists. One therapist literally was the write shit down, venting, whatever. You know, there's no real instructioning or anything like that on how to help me with my issues or anything like that. And then my second therapist was he was absolutely amazing. He said, hey, you need to do this, whatever. And it's more or less your therapy or your therapist should be helping you understand what you're going through compared to just giving you orders on things on what to do.
Yeah.
And so there are difference between a therapist and a psychologist. A therapist is going to more or less advise you what to do, and a psychologist is going to pump you full of drugs, more or less. You know, it's like The Sopranos, like, I want you to take lithium, I want you to take this shit, I want you to take this shit, you know what I mean? This will help you be a better crime boss, you know what I mean? Type shit. So yeah, when it comes to finding a therapist, it is absolutely okay to quote unquote shop around to find the right one for you. It's like, especially when people like to recommend therapists for you.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you should go see this guy, you should go see this guy, and then you see him, it's like, that dude didn't say shit about shit, you know what I mean?
Right.
He didn't say shit about shit, he didn't help at all, you know what I mean? He told you, he took my money, like, what the hell?
Yeah.
How do you deal with your traumas, man?
Oh, self-medicate like everybody? Nah. Now, I will admit, I think everybody has a vice, and maybe people go to that vice like a safety blanket whenever they need that comfort, you know, whatever it may be. You know, everybody's got that thing, and sometimes that's all you need to maybe help you feel better. Maybe it's, you know, therapeutic, as I said, therapeutic. Sometimes you just need to do something therapeutic to make you feel better, and you just need to organize your thoughts, you know what I mean? But there's levels to trauma. Like, if, God forbid, you're in something extremely, extremely horrible, that's going to take longer to heal from, and you might need a structured plan to get over it. Or it could be something a lot less traumatic. It's still a form of trauma, but you just need a little bit of therapy, you know, therapeutic things to just, you know, just, like, say, for example, you can have a bad week, you know, you fucking wreck your car, you lose your job, you know, just all kind of just bullshit happens one by one. And that's could be traumatic because of the accumulation of the stress, but it's not something so bad where, oh, I want to take my life. My life's over. Like, you just got to do some shit to, okay, I might need a couple drinks. I might need to play some video games. I might need to hit the strip club, whatever the fuck your thing is, you know? And then you eventually feel better. You realize that these are just material things and things that can be fixed. And that's something that's important. You have to realize that if there's something material, it's replaceable. Everything is replaceable in this world but time. Everything. Money, you know, buildings, houses, cars, anything that gets destroyed can be replaced. I mean, God forbid, you know, you lose a limb, you know, that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
But anything material can be replaced except for time. Time is the only thing that cannot be replaced. So and that's my mentality on life. If something that's important to me, you know, that's a material thing that might get messed up, I'm like, okay, I'll just replace it. Like, get the fuck over it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But that's my mentality, you know?
I think for me, it's more of understanding what's going on compared to how it's affecting me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, because me and my dad, we always button heads. But I think for me to get over the trauma of him was more or less understanding how he thinks and how he acts and whatever, which makes it easier for me to more or less forgive and let go and all this other stuff on that situation. But then it was only like a couple of years ago when I got on this whole self-development, you know, personal development quest was, it's not what happens that determines your future, is what you do about it.
Right.
And so that's, to me, that line alone is what helped a lot of traumatic shit. You know, a lot of things just going in the future, like, okay, you know, typically if this was 20-year-old James, this would be a bad traumatic day.
Yeah.
But this is 30-year-old James.
Yeah. But you got more life experience, so you know how to deal with
it. I could deal with it a lot better compared to there, because I know it's not what's going on, it's how I'm thinking about it. It's remaining calm and all this other shit, you know, that helps a lot. I actually listen to those videos, those personal development, you know, videos every single day, because then it helps guard my mind from the bullshit of everything else. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's more or less keeping that mental capacity of being in a good fucking mood compared to just letting it all go to shit over one little thing.
Yeah. I mean, because bad shit is going to happen to you. It's part of life. You're going to have peaks and valleys. Mm-hmm. It's how you react to those bad things that determines the outcome. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? If you fucking, oh, my life's over, or you fucking just, you know, you find a solution to the problem, then you're good. Like, oh shit, I lost my job. I'm about to get on the computer, find another job.
Especially if you already hate that job. I hate it when people complain about losing a job that they hate. It's like you hate that going to that. You complain about that job every single fucking day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Every time I got fired from a job that I hated, I was skipping out of that motherfucker. You know what I mean? There's just all that stress. It's just that's how I knew that, like, this job was shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A lot of people are afraid to take risks, you know, and sometimes you have to. I mean, you can't be in such a miserable position in life that you're afraid to, you know, jump outside the box, you know. Mm-hmm. Then you're just fucking just miserable for years and years. I mean, this is a place you're at majority of your time. Like, you have to be somewhere that you don't hate, you know.
Mm-hmm. I think that deals a lot with trauma, because, believe it or not, and I learned this a couple of years ago, is that people actually fall in love with their suffering.
Masochistic.
Yeah, they literally get married to their suffering, and divorce is hard. You know what I mean?
I know a lot of people like that.
Because you find people that literally talk about it all the time, every single day. And every time you talk to them, it's like, so-and-so did this to me, blah, 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 this, blah, blah, that. It's like, you know, this happened like 3 years ago, man. I think it's time to let it go. Like, seriously.
You know, there's some people, this is what I say, that carry there's like a dark cloud above their head, and it's like a string attached to it, like a balloon, and they carry it with them everywhere they go. And it just rains on them. It's like everywhere else is sunshiny, but they got this fucking dark cloud of rain with a string attached to it. And it's like, look what I got. Look what I got. Like, let the fucking thing go. I know so many people like that, and I can't stand it, man. I don't know if it's an attention thing or what was me? I need sympathy. Like, I don't know, man. People are weird.
I honestly do think it's something like an attention thing where they want to be heard. Yeah. They want to be understood. Yeah. But that's where you go to your therapist for. You know what I mean? It's like, that's literally, you can literally pay somebody to unload all that shit on, and you can unload it on the guy that's not going to help you out. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the one guy that you can do it for. You know.
Yeah. No, I don't want people crying to people. I want them to hear my shit, man. Like, I mean, sometimes it's cool, but I don't want to. You don't want to be that person that, oh, here they come. Like, you know, it's gonna be some shit they're gonna be bitching about.
Those the what I call the bitch niggas that you avoid.
Oh man. Man, guess what happened? Man, I don't even want to know, man.
I don't even want to know. It's every day with you, man. I don't even want to know.
It was some bullshit.
Oh.
Yeah, man.
What else about trauma therapy? Other than to get your shit together.
Just don't get swallowed up in the dark hole, man. Like, if you need help, find it. If it's something, if it's persisting and you're not getting better, I know this sounds like some fucking doctor commercial. If the problems are persistent and not getting better, seek help.
Do you have these side effects?
Yeah. If you're not doing your therapeutic things that you like to do, your whatever little vice you got, if that's not helping you improve your mood and your thought process, then maybe you need to find another solution. Maybe you need to vent to a professional or whatever. But don't just sit and wallow in it 3 weeks later and no solution has came about it.
Mm.
Like, you need to instantly, like, it's okay that for a few minutes, like, damn, this is fucked up. Okay, next step. Now what do I do?
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't just and then this is something interesting, speaking of which, and I didn't understand until I became an adult, that some people are just inherently natural to depression. So it's easy to just tell somebody to get the fuck over it, but some people are just, it could be a genetic thing, it could just be, you know, the mental thing and a hormonal thing, whatever, I don't know, but some people are just inherently just depressed people. And they have to take meds, or they have to. So it's some people are just, you know, mentally got their own thing going on. So I don't know. It's a lot of different variables, and
I think it has a lot to do with like mental discipline too.
Yeah.
You know, because you talk about people that are like having all these different mental problems, but they're not taking the necessary mental steps to fix those problems. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it comes down to literally like a lack of mental discipline. Like they say they want to get help and all these other things, but they just don't take the necessary steps to.
Yeah.
And I understand taking that first step is very difficult, but then just like anything, if you're pushing, you know, a rock at the top of a hill, you know, once you push it and get it down, rolling down, you know, it comes faster and easier and easier. And so once you actually take that first step of getting help, you know, it gets a lot easier after that. And I think people are, you know, afraid or don't want to take that first step. You know what I mean? It's back to that whole false sense of masculinity where they think if they get help, it's weak or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
So I most definitely encourage people to take that first step to getting help, because trust me, it'll most definitely help in the long run. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. Get help.
Yeah.
You need it.
Get help. Go ahead and end the episode there. I got Griff with me, got James on another episode of Real Talk with Real Men. We'll see you guys next week. That's some fucked up shit, man.
Yeah,
what the fuck's going on with Hollywood, man? I know you don't have social media, so you don't, with the whole P. Diddy thing, like, the shit is just hitting the fan, bro.
My YouTube algorithm be lit the fuck up, man.
Do you know what's going on with J-Lo right now?
J-Lo?
Yeah, Jennifer Lopez.
No.
Oh, dude.
I guess not. Shit.
People are like coming out of the woodwork about how she's just a bitch to meet.
I've heard that. I've heard.
Like, she's just not a nice person. And then she did her documentary. All this came from her documentary, how she's, you know, J-Lo from the Bronx and all this other shit. And then people that are coming out, like, actually met her, like, knew her from high school. It's like, bitch, you wasn't nowhere like that in high school. What the fuck are you talking about?
But she was better then than that.
Or she's more or less claiming the story of how she was back then. And apparently some of it just isn't true. You know what I mean? And then that's where prompted all the other stories of her, people that have actually met her in person, and how she was like just a total bitch.
Yeah.
Like, she's just not a nice person to meet.
I saw a Tommy Davidson interview. He was saying that shit, because they just doing Living Color together.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Hey, what's up, J-Lo? Like, we used to be homies back in the day." And she was like, "Hey," and then just walked up we used to be friends. Like,
there's a story about her going to the movie theater and how she prompted people to. First, she didn't want to come through the front of the building. She wanted to come through the back of the building. So they had to clean the entire back of the building where the dumpster and everything was at. Had to clean that whole area to make it spotless so that she could walk through there. And she didn't rent out the whole movie theater. She only bought 4 tickets, but she wanted the whole movie theater to be cleared out so that she could watch the movie by herself.
What? They said what movie it was?
No, I didn't say what movie it was.
Probably one of her movies.
Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me if it was one of her own movies.
She is so overrated, man. She can't. I don't even think she can sing.
Well,
She could dance.
This video of SNL came out with without the auto tune.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
What she performed?
Yeah, she was performing live.
Yeah, I never thought even her old music when she was first popping.
Yeah.
Waiting for tonight. Like I was like, this bitch can't sing, bro. Like it's not bad. It's just women can kind of get away with it because they have this feminine voice. They can just say, talk, do this. Mm-hmm. But
do their Michael Jackson voice.
Yeah, and just let the music, the melody override the voice. But I never thought she was this talented singer. I guess she could dance. She was a
dancer.
Living Color girl. So, but
yeah, she was a dancer.
She's overrated as acting, all that, man. I never really got it. I mean, my boy Ben Affleck loved her ass because he went back to her.
Yeah.
He knew what she was like back then.
No.
He went back.
Ran back to her.
Married her. And that's another thing. How many husbands and fiancés?
More rings than Tom Brady, bro.
God damn.
Man, more rings than Tom Brady.
If that ain't a red flag, bro. Hey, man. It's each their own, man.
Man. She's only been married, I think, twice or 3 times.
Yeah, but she's been
But she's been engaged for like 8 or 9 times. Yeah. That is a huge fucking red flag, bro. That is. Wow.
Yeah. And the Diddy thing, man, that shit's just karma on his ass. This shit's just been waiting.
So you know about his I guess penthouse being raided and all that shit.
Oh yeah, L.A. and New York and Miami.
I guess he's overseas or he's on his private plane somewhere off in the East Coast or some shit. You know, not in America.
Yeah,
that's not a red flag if you leave right before the raid's coming.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. And that's how you know that they have to have enough evidence to spend all kind of resources to raid 3 places at once using, what they did. So they got some evidence on his ass.
You think he's dumb enough to leave something in one of his places though?
I mean, but if you get randomly raided, it's your house. You got 3 different homes. You're gonna have like a. Now they're talking about drug mules and all this other shit. I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, like child trafficking and all that stuff.
It was a billionaire, bro.
Yeah.
And probably more than that. That's just what he's known in the, officially, through the business.
What do you think about the whole Tupac and Biggie assassinations allegations and all that stuff? Because they finally caught the people that killed Tupac, and they even said that like Diddy was the one that orchestrated this shit, but they never filed any charges against him. Maybe they were waiting for like a RICO case or something like that, because you can't just say, "Oh, Diddy did this shit," and then I got charged him.
Yeah, none of this has anything to do with that though. Those are just even the Cassie. He just got all this other shit, a whirlwind of shit on his ass. That has nothing to do with Pac. So, with the Cassie and the sexual.
If anything, that
shit
prompted
it. Weird. She was like, you see some of the shit she was accusing him of.
Oh yeah,
like. He'd make her hire male escorts, and he fucking cuck in the corner while he watched them fucking shit. Like, this weird shit, man. But when you think about it, and I'm not justifying what he did, but when you're that rich and powerful for decades, I mean, regular sex is probably pretty boring to them. Like, you've been with all the most beautiful women in the world, you've had orgies and threesomes, foursomes, all this shit. Then that shit gets boring, and you start getting on some fucking weird shit, dude.
They got people swinging from the rafters and shit.
It's like, and that's why, as far as porn goes, to each their own, but that shit can get dangerous. If you get like really addicted to that shit, eventually you're gonna go from some basic shit to some weird shit. You look like, what the fuck am I watching? Like, why am I watching this?
You would think he would seek some sort of therapy or something to deal with his traumas or something like that. If he had all the money for it, you know what I mean? It's like, hey, maybe I should get some help, something.
That's what I say. Money, say money don't buy happiness, man.
It'll shut a bitch up. How much you pay, Cassie?
I don't even know.
A couple million? It was a couple million.
Like in less than 24 hours.
Yeah, man. That bitch settled real quick. He's like, oh, this shit is all true, man. I need to get this bitch to shut the fuck up.
That's crazy.
Like, he didn't even attempt to fight it. You know what I mean?
That's crazy. And then all this shit came. But yeah, them Diddy parties everybody knew about them things.
Apparently Usher knew all about it.
Usher used to live there when he was a kid. Man, ain't no telling what.
Like, dude, Diddy, man, I want to get in the studio. Nah, man, come here and hang out with this party, man. Diddy, I want to get in the studio.
Let's have a pillow fight. I like our pillow fights. Shit is weird, man. That's what I call Hollyweird. Yeah. What I don't get, man, is like the shit that these people do for people to know your name and to have a little pocket change. Like, I don't get it. People want to be rich and famous so bad that they would sell their soul.
Mm-hmm.
In whatever capacity you think selling your soul means, like, it's bad. And people will do it.
Yep.
Just for the people to know your name and to have some pocket change. I don't get it, man. Like, ain't enough money in the world for me to be doing the shit they do. I definitely don't care if people know my name like that. So
it's kind of one of the reasons why I'm not in Hollywood right now. Man. It's like, hey, here's my script, man, for this new movie. I gotta do what?
Yeah.
I gotta do.
Come
Hell
step in
no,
my
I ain't
office.
doing that shit.
Step in my office.
I'd rather blood, sweat, and tears building my own shit compared to fucking doing whatever. the
Stay
hell.
independent.
Yeah. Oh, you know you heard about the Nickelodeon on set shit, right?
That's
quiet,
old. That
quiet
shit's
on
old.
set shit.
The Dan Snyder shit, that shit's old. It's just now they, for some reason, making a big deal.
Doing a documentary on it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they're doing with the